What's up, Dunwoody? Welcome back to the podcast. It's all about Dunwoody, Georgia. I'm your host, Matt Weber. I'm a real estate agent, and I've just been podcasting with just cool people around town. And show's brought to you by Village Orthodontics. I guess Village Orthodontics, last time I was listening to one of our old interviews with you, Anwar, and at that point, Village Orthodontics was looking to buy bulletproof vests for the canine units, which I thought was cool. I kind of forgot about that. So, yeah. Here today with Anwar Sillah. You're not the community outreach officer anymore. You're a patrol sergeant, and he's in charge of social media. He's like coordinator for social media, and I just enjoy talking to you. You're easy to talk to, and so that's why you're on the podcast today for a second time. So you can always go back and listen to the first one. It was entertaining. I just kind of listened to some of it just so that I didn't repeat myself and we didn't have the same conversations. But yeah, I really respect Dunwoody Police Department just because all of like the social media you guys do and like the outreach to the community, it makes the community feel like they know you, just like social media does. And, that's what I guess the goal of social media is to get your face in front of people. And I know Chief Grogan, I'll give you a chance to talk in just a second here, but
you're good.
Chief Grogan, I think it's really cool that Chief Grogan pushes y'all to do that, because he's written 2 books about social media, and a lot of people don't know that. But yeah, he kind of puts you guys in charge of doing your own thing, and I think it's worked really well for you. Do you enjoy doing the social media stuff?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I used to work for a police department before Dunwoody Police, and back in 2014, when I was looking for an agency to go to, I actually looked at Dunwoody Police Department's Facebook page at the time, and that's what attracted me to the department was their Facebook page and the way they were, their humor, the way they were humanizing everything, and just being so, it just seemed so lively at the department, and that's what attracted me here. And so when I came here, that was one of my goals, is to actually jump on board with the social media. And thankfully, I was able to get on there and, become the coordinator and, take the lead on that. So yeah, you're right. Chief Grogan really, set a really good foundation on social media here.
It can really get people or get departments into trouble, I think, but you guys handle it pretty well. I mean, I haven't seen any real issues with it. I think that you guys do a good job, reporting the news, but kind of keeping it.
Yeah. We have
too outlandish.
Yeah, we have a lot of contributors. We call them social media contributors. And we all do, before anybody is able to become a contributor, they have to go through a pretty lengthy training where we talk about things you can post, you can't post, things that you can do legally, that you can't do legally, because we are a government agency. And myself and some other people on the social media team go to, frequent trainings just to make sure that we're staying on top. Social media is always changing. There's always new things coming on and all that stuff. So, yeah, we do a good job on trying to, stay ahead of all that.
Yeah. Well, every once in a while, one of y'all's posts just blows up. And in the social media world, that like is the bad news that normally sells pretty well. But I think I was thinking back on some of the ones that were a big deal. The armored truck. Remember that a few years back?
Yeah.
That was national news that you guys were kind of in the center of.
It's funny you say that, because every time I go to like an out of state training or somewhere out of the Atlanta area, and they always ask, "Where's Dunwoody, Georgia?" And I'm like, "Do you remember that armored truck that exploded on 285 and there was money everywhere?" They're like, "Yeah, I remember that." I said, "That's Dunwoody, Georgia."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely made national news, and people remember it to this day.
Yeah. What were some of the other ones? There's the Officer Daly when he got hit. He was like pulling over a car, wasn't he?
Right. Yeah, he was. That was back a couple of years ago. He stopped somebody for the hands-free violation, and while he was talking to the driver, the driver took off, and Officer Daly was hanging on the side, and then he was thrown off on the interstate, and he was pretty bruised up, and thankfully nothing life-threatening as far as his injuries, and the suspect was apprehended. And after that, Officer Daly posted a video at the hospital just thanking everybody for their support and everything. And he said, "Hey, I'll be happy if anybody wants to send me any donuts or cakes or pies. I take it all in." And I don't know why he said that. We had stuff from all over the world. I mean, we looked like, the Dunwoody Bakery,
Yeah. Everybody assumes donuts, I'm sure. And I
Oh,
remember there was a picture of the table, and it was just filled with all kinds of pastries and
yes,
stuff.
yes,
That's cool. And he, he survived. He did well and
yeah,
kind of healed up. Is
yeah.
he still there? Is Daly still
No,
there?
he's not with us anymore, but we still take, a lot of us still keep in contact with him and everything. He's doing well.
Yeah, that's cool. I feel like you guys hold on to people for a long time. There's a lot of faces that I really, recognize, and I know
Yeah.
that you were kind of hurting for workers, for officers back. I guess that was during the pandemic, maybe like right after the pandemic. And I was
Yeah.
talking to you the other day. It seems like that's kind of cleared up a little bit, huh?
Yes, I mean it really has. Thankfully, back during the pandemic, our department as well as others around the country were really struggling for officers. There was so much going on. It wasn't only the pandemic that was affecting people. We also had, the George Floyd case where people were just not even really trying to get into law
Yeah.
enforcement. A lot of officers were leaving law enforcement to go to the private sector. And so it was affecting departments all over the place. And so, thankfully now we probably only have a couple of officers that we're short on
Yeah.
compared to, 2 years ago where we were, you know, probably 9 to 10 officers short, but now we're doing pretty good. So
What do you contribute that to? People coming back to work, and did they gave raises too, didn't they? I remember that was something in the news a while back. The
yeah,
Dunwoody news.
yeah. Dunwoody did. The city council was great. They all came together and they gave across the board raises to all of our personnel. So it helped us a lot. As far as retention and recruitment as well. We have, we're trying to stay competitive with our surrounding agencies and things like that.
Yeah.
And we're not the only department. There's so many departments that just really spiked up their salaries and compensations, and so it really helped across the board. Law enforcement, where a lot of people decided to come and jump on board on this train.
Yeah. You got a lot of good people now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got great people. It's been a difference in people compared to when I started. Uh, there were a lot of like older. Did you hear that? There were a lot of older people that were, when the department started, there were people who had like 5, 10 years experience before. And now we're getting people that just came out of the police academy. We're actually sending people to the police academy and we're able to
Yeah.
train them the Dunwoody way, as soon as they come out. And so it's nice to be able to see a brand new officer, right out of the academy, be able to, do things the way that Dunwoody does it and just be involved in our community.
Yeah. That's cool. You get to train the young bucks now. Like
Yeah,
you,
absolutely.
you're the old man there that's showing them what to do. um, so what else has been in the news recently? That perimeter mall shooting, that was kind of a big deal. Has that been at the top of everybody's mind, I guess?
Yeah, it really was. It was a big surprise to our department. We do routine training for our officers, and a lot of times we even train with other agencies, especially in the perimeter area, mainly because if an active shooter does occur, we're not going to be there by ourselves,
Hmm.
and that was tested and proven to be very true during that perimeter mall shooting. It really, thankfully, it wasn't really wasn't an active shooter like you've seen in the news and things like that.
Right.
This was a targeted, incident, but the response was definitely necessary because we didn't know what we had at the time. Once we
Yeah.
hear gunshots and people saying shooting in the mall, we're gonna prepare to respond just like we would any active shooter. So the way that it was dispatched, it went out to Brookhaven Police Department, Sandy Springs, DeKalb Police, and I'm sure I'm missing 3 or 4 of them. There was just so many people that came on board and said, "Hey, we're going to make sure that place is going to be, we're going to take care of whatever needs to be taken care of," and it worked out for us, thankfully.
That's really cool. Do you guys show up in other cities a lot for stuff like that, or is it just the biggest deals, like the biggest issues?
Well, it just depends. There are times where agencies do request other agencies, especially if they're like on the border.
Right.
There's maybe a police chase coming through our city. They'll notify us so that we can be there because a lot of times we know the area better than they know. The officers know the area, so we could tell them, where we're at. We can go meet up with them, help them with apprehending and stuff. Sometimes, we had Georgia State Patrol chasing somebody a couple of months ago, and they took off running in Dunwoody, and we were able to go down there and help them find the suspect, things like that. So there's a there's a lot, especially in the Dunwoody area, a lot of the agencies work really close amongst one another, especially
Well, you're
Brookhaven,
so
Sandy
close to
Springs.
Sandy Springs. Yeah, it's right
Yeah,
there.
and then we also have the North Metro SWAT team, and it's including the North Metros, Dunwoody, Sandy Springs, Brookhaven, Chamblee. So we all are we work really closely with one another.
Okay. Yeah, I know that perimeter area. I was listening to one of the old shows, and you've got was it 20 beat, the 30 beat, and the 40 beat? Is that how
Yeah,
it goes? 20's at the top, and that's like the nicer area, the country club and all
yeah,
of that. And then the
right.
30s are the mall, right? And that's where
Yeah,
most of the crime happens. And then the 40s, down where I live, down by PCB or I
yeah,
mean PIB and Tilly Mill and that kind of thing. But the
right.
30s are where you guys are most of the
Oh yeah,
time, right?
definitely, definitely. The 20s is actually the biggest zone that we have. It
Okay.
stretches from the east side of the city all the way to the west side of the city, and the top of the city. But like you said, they're mainly single family homes. We don't really get too many issues up there. Sometimes we'll have some incidents, but most of the times it's false alarms that we
Yeah.
get into the area. Now, our 30 beat, like you mentioned, is the perimeter area where we get a lot of our calls. We got Perimeter Mall there. We got Target, Walmart. We've got the largest stretch of 285 is in the 30 beat. And then it also stretches over to Georgetown where there's Kroger, you got the McDonald's, you got just, the Cotillion area. And then it goes all the way to Brook Run Park. So even up to and including Brook Run Park is all part of
Okay.
the 30. So it's a large zone that keeps us busy. And then the 40 beat is our Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, Winters Chapel, Tilly Mill area, and then a little stretch of the North Peachtree as well, and Peeler. Those are our 40 beat areas, and so I would say the 40 beat is right in the middle of the 20 and the 30 beat as far as crime rate or
Yeah.
call volume goes. But our 30 beat is definitely that's where we get our shoplifters, most of our accidents, most of our part one crime, which is like a lot of our property crimes. Like we have our entering autos. Most of those happen in the
What's all the
in the
mall
30 beat.
area? Yeah.
Yeah. Now the thing
Makes
about the
sense.
20 beat that people don't realize is we'll have entering autos every once in a while on our 20 beat. So we'll go to do these neighborhood watch meet and tell folks, hey man, lock your doors, stop leaving your keys in your car and leave your
Yeah.
doors
You're
unlocked
not
because
that safe.
yeah, people will go through those neighborhoods and just start pulling on door handles if people aren't locking their doors and things like that. So
Yeah. And the 30 beats probably a lot of people coming into town to go to the mall to, commit crime.
exactly right, and
So it's not
that's where
necessarily Dunwoody citizens that you're messing with.
you're absolutely right. I mean, the majority of our inner and auto victims are these corporate people that come from out of state, and then they park at the restaurants in the evening, and they
Yeah.
leave their laptop bags and their suitcases and everything in plain view, and our bad guys decide they want to come and pay them a visit and
Yeah.
mess up their entire trip.
Well, and no matter how many times you tell people, they're going to keep doing it. That's
Yeah, especially when they're out of state, like they don't hear the message, because they've never been in Dunwoody before, and so we're
right.
like, "Hey, everybody, lock your doors!" And this is like the first time they've even heard about or come to Dunwoody.
For sure. For sure. Well, yeah, you guys have been putting out all kinds of stuff on YouTube too. That recruiting video, you're
Yeah,
becoming a star on social media and YouTube.
yeah,
Um, has that gone pretty well? Have you gotten any?
yeah. We really enjoy doing that. One of the things that we were trying to do is try to show everybody, all of the different personnel that we have. Our diverse department. We have so many different levels of experience here. The chief had an opportunity to talk about what he's looking for in the candidates because we want to do continuous recruiting in our
Yeah.
department. And we want to keep bringing in some new, fresh faces, new people, and so put together a 2-minute video that really helps us try to recruit the best of the best.
Yeah, and it got some views. It didn't get as many views as that Justin Timberlake lip sync video that you guys did a while
Yeah,
back. I found that. I was like, I got to share this into that community
yeah,
group because I just love that video where
oh
Chief's
yeah,
dancing on the roof and stuff.
yeah.
You guys
That
all
was
got
really
to
fun.
you
That
all
was
got
really
to
fun.
to show how fun you are. That was really cool.
Yeah,
I thought.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah,
well,
and that's
what's
one of
some?
the things.
Go
Oh, go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, well, I was just gonna ask, what are some of the other events that are coming up? Like anything you guys want to plug and
Yeah.
get people to?
Now, 2 years ago, we started the Teen Police Academy in the department, and so the first 2 years were really it was really successful. Students. Teen Police Academy is it's a week long summer program for teenagers between the ages of 14 to 18. This year, we're going to bump it up to 19 because we're trying to really get some of our college students to maybe join in that might be looking to get into law enforcement. So, and the Teen Police Academy for the last 2 years was really, beneficial in that where we were able to show people everything that we do, not everything, but most of the things that we do, and give them the opportunity to do field trips. We've gone to the GBI headquarters. They do a jail tour. They're able to go to the 911 center. We have a shooting simulator at the police department where they're able to see how police officers react under stress. They're able to do traffic stop scenarios where they can actually see how does it like, pulling over a car and not knowing what you're walking up on. How are you
Right.
going to react to this? We did some DUI, field sobriety stuff where they put on like a intox goggles and it actually would show you how it feels to be intoxicated and try to do a field sobriety test.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool. We provide lunch for the students every day. It's fun, interactive. A lot of people ask, is it going to be like a scare straight program? And I'm like, yeah, no, we're not there yelling and screaming at kids, making them do push-ups.
Yeah.
But so we really wanted to be, and every student at the end of the class, when students first come, we ask them, were you made to come here or did you want to come here? And you got some students saying, my mom made me come, my dad made me come. And then at the end, they're like, I'm so glad I came to this because it was,
Well, that's
such a
cool.
great experience. So yeah, we'll be doing that. We still have applications open. If anybody's interested, it's on our website, dunwoodyga.gov. If they go to programs, they'll see the Teen Academy, and we have our application there. And, come on and send your kids and your teenagers, and, I guarantee they'll have a great time.
Awesome. My kids are a little bit younger. They love the touch a truck type stuff where they
Yeah,
get to sit in the back of the SWAT cars and
right.
that kind of
Yeah,
thing. So
yeah.
thanks
Oh, yeah.
for doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we do have a lot of interaction in our schools. We have a career day coming up at Peachtree Middle School, and so I'll be there, and some other officers will be there, and we'd love to have the kids come and touch our police cars, talk on our bikes, and not the actual police radio mic, but like the PA mic.
Everybody else in the department's like, dude, you got to turn that thing off, man.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's cool. Is Officer Tate still around? Is he still doing that stuff? Is he still
The,
with
the car seat, the car seat stuff, or
Officer Tate? I remember
oh
he used to be the one that was always at the schools.
yeah, he actually retired.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he retired. When you said the car seat stuff, I was talking about his wife because his wife
Oh.
still works for the police department, and
Oh, okay.
she's our car seat tech. So that's why. But yeah, Officer Tate retired from our department about 2 years ago, and he's doing well. And he still comes out to like our police functions and everything because his wife still works for our department, and so he's.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did about 30 years in law enforcement, and he hung it
All
up.
the kids knew his name. They're like, Officer Tate came again.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was, he was
they
great
love it.
with the community outreach. He was an outstanding police officer. But two things that we really remember him of was, his community efforts, and he was also what we call the AAA of the department because he would be out there changing tires with
Yeah.
he had like the drills. He loved to help people out with stranded motorists and stuff. He was really known for
That's
that.
really cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. I appreciate everything you guys do for the parade too. That's coming up soon.
Yeah.
And we met the other day about that.
Right.
We're real excited
Mhm.
about it.
Lemonade Days are coming up, so we'll be out there with Lemonade
Lemonade
Days
Days.
too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you see an officer, say hello, introduce yourself because they're friendly as can be.
Definitely. We'll love to see you guys out there in the community.
Well, cool. Well, thanks, buddy.